What is this Gong Thought? The precious life form that exists only one in the world is Gong Thought. Listen carefully to what I say, and everyone must learn it. If you don't learn it, only you will lose out. Saying you go to a good place after dying is all just sitting there telling lies, every day. So this Gong Thought is the most precious statement in the world. So all things in the world exist and then all disappear. There is nothing that does not disappear. It disappears and becomes non-existent, disappears and becomes non-existent, appears and disappears, appears and becomes non-existent. Everything is like that. There is nothing that remains in the world continuously. It does not exist in the world. They say a diamond does not break and is hard and such. That is why the D Sutra, that Shakyamuni Buddha Buddhism, came out. The D Sutra says the soul does not break. Try breaking it with a hammer, it breaks into pieces. Soft things do not break. Everyone, try pounding something like copper wire. Copper with a hammer. If you pound copper, does copper break? It just keeps stretching and getting dented. But the harder it is, the faster it breaks. The harder it is. So with people too. People who have a quick temper, those people originally cannot live long. They break quickly. A person's disposition must be relaxed and supple to live long, and they don't get sick. So then what is this diamond meeting? It's all lies, lies. If you look at the H Sutra, it says wisdom, have wisdom, and that's why the H Sutra came out. That too is something living humans have, dead humans don't need it. It means live with wisdom only while you are alive. So when a person lives and dies, everything disappears and becomes non-existent without even dust. But if you talk as if something exists, it's all lies, lies. Then the Yonghwa world is not where flesh and bones go, the soul goes. So that soul. Now the existing Buddhists and monks don't know that they are dull of hearing and don't understand. What is this thing called a soul? The soul is a light that exists like an invisible shadow. Because you don't understand what I'm saying, I explained it by analogy. By analogy, what did I explain? It's not only people in the world. All things live in the world, and it's not only people living in this Sabha world. Then even the foods we live on, rice, barley, beans, none of them produce grain until the end of the earth. Just because you plant once, you cultivate for 1 year, harvest the grain, then plant again after that. And that is how grain comes out. If you plant once, it doesn't mean grain comes out for a lifetime. So what is that planting, then? The answer is contained in that word planting. Planting. Planting, that is the law of interdependent arising. Planting is. Then the Buddha and living beings eternally. When people, living beings, die, that eternal interdependent arising is the Yonghwa world. You must go to the Yonghwa world for you all to be able to have reincarnation, rebirth. That reincarnation rebirth is the same as when a person plants grain and sprouts come out. If not, grain cannot come out into the world. In the old days, in very ancient times, when humans lived, they did not farm, harvest rice, harvest grain, and live by eating like that. Why? Even rice plants were in the mountains just like the grass in the mountains. As humans lived in the world and their heads awakened, they would sweep it up, peel off the husk, and the time began when they cooked rice and lived by eating it. If you go to a place like SNC, even now, if you go to the mountains, there are rice plants, wild rice. So humans swept that rice, planted the rice seeds in fields, planted them in the ground, and produced grain like this. So that is why a lot of grain came out. That is the cause. That too, grain comes out only if a person brings it and plants it in the ground. If you don't plant, it doesn't come out. So what is planting, then? Planting is the law of interdependent arising. Who plants? A person must plant. Do wolves or tigers in the mountains come and plant rice? So the principle is all revealed there. So as humans developed, they farmed a lot and produced a lot of grain. They also produced beans, and produced barley. As they produced barley, flour came out, because they produced wheat. So that's what I mean living like this. We now came to produce a lot of grain. That is exactly what it means that a person interdependently arises. A person has to plant grain for it to come out, right? Grain doesn't fall from the mountain. so you must live in the world knowing that kind of principle. Just unconditionally, when a person dies, they go to a good place. When you die, you go to heaven, you go to the land of happiness, and so on. That very idea of going is the principle of impermanence of living beings. The principle of impermanence of living beings is transience. That's what I'm saying. Those people don't understand, they are dull of hearing. So if, with such a law, with Shakyamuni Buddha Buddhism, it continues to bloom in the future, that law will end up disappearing. Why is that?
56억 7천만 년 후 미륵 부처님께서 오신다. 이것은 사실인가 아니면 조작된 낭설인가? 조회수 1억 회를 돌파한 한국 불교의 기념비적 법문의 탄생. 안양 수리산 용화사 용화미륵대불 특별 법문 125부. 만물의 기본 원리 공사상, 생명의 모태 광명의 빛, 살아있음의 증거 연기법, 사후 세계의 진실 윤회와 환생. 수천 년간 왜곡되어 전파된 기존 불법에 모순된 깨우침, 그 뒤틀린 이치를 바로잡다. 안양 수리산 용화사 용화미륵대불 특별 법문 125부. 지금 바로 확인하세요.
우주 만물의 법칙, 공사상. 공사상의 창시자, 용화미륵부처님의 가르침. 깨우친 부처는 몸에서 빛이 나오시며 광명의 빛으로 중생을 구제하신다. 만물을 창조하는 태양의 빛이 광명의 빛이며 인간이 환생하게 할 수 있는 것은 오직 깨우친 부처님의 광명의 빛이다. 살아계신 부처님의 광명의 빛, 그것이 곧 공사상이다. 수계를 받는다는 것은 광명의 빛, 즉 공사상을 내 몸 안에 품는 것이다. 죽음 이후 윤회는 없고 단지 모든 것은 소멸될 뿐이다. 깨우친 부처님의 광명의 빛으로 수계를 받으면 죽은 뒤에도 용화 세계를 볼 수 있는 눈을 갖게 된다. 천도와 수계는 깨우친 부처님의 광명의 빛을 통해서만 가능하다. 죽어서 천도받지 말고 살아있을 때 수계를 받아라. 보고, 듣고, 확인할 수 있는 것만을 믿고 따르라. 죽은 것은 연기할 수 없고 오직 살아있는 것만이 연기할 수 있다. 금을 인위적으로 만들 수 없듯이 부처는 처음부터 부처로 오는 것이지 기도나 참선으로 중생이 부처가 될 수는 없다. 단 수계받은 자는 광명의 빛을 받아 생불이 될 수 있다. 이 모든 공사상은 용화미륵부처님에 의해 창조되었다. 하늘과 땅, 바다와 산처럼 생명과 창조의 근원이며 한계가 없는 영원 불멸의 진리, 공사상. 용화미륵부처님의 공사상을 매주 일요일 안양 수리산 용화사에서 직접 보고 듣고 만나보십시오.
예수님의 12제자, 석가모니 부처님의 안한존자, 그리고 깨우쳐 오신 미륵부처님의 공사상을 세상에 알린 태명혜우스님. 출가 그리고 수행. 석가모니 불께 수기를 받고 미륵부처님을 만나 미륵불법을 펴기까지 조회수 100만 회를 돌파한 태명혜우스님의 출가 수행기. 불교의 현주소. 천도되지 못한 부모님과 끝없는 천도제의 굴레. 정직한 수행자의 비참했던 과거부터 깨우쳐 오신 생불 용화미륵부처님을 마주하기까지. 거짓 천도제와 잘못된 가르침으로부터 기도하고 빌어서는 이룰 수 없다는 진리를 깨닫기까지. 살아계신 미륵부처님의 몸에서 나오는 광명의 빛을 처음 마주한 살아있는 증인의 생생한 목소리와 진리를 관통하는 깨우친 출가 수행기. 태명혜우스님의 출가 수행기. 지금 바로 확인하세요.